It's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it. And quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking.
The government.
The government
should control the social media.
Yeah.
Hey, you heard it. Okay, this is no longer a conspiracy. Okay, first I want to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. Shabbat Chanak, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. All right, and when I watched this video, I was just, searching around. I got this off Telegram, different, there's different channels where they'll bring out a lot of information that you generally don't see on the major social media platform, because a lot of these things are already censored. And this individual here, this devil here, which is an U.S. Israeli cybersecurity billionaire, Shlomo Kramer. Okay, Shlomo Kramer, if I pronounce that his first name right. Okay, and he's basically saying we need to, and we'll play the video again. We need to control all social media platforms. Okay, it's time. It's time to protect the First Amendment by controlling the First Amendment. That doesn't make any sense, but it does make sense if the ultimate goal is to track and to trace and to limit your freedom of speech, particularly in the Western societies, really starting with America. America has the most freedom, so-called freedom of speech, than pretty much any other country. Bear with me, I'm sipping some tea. Okay, let's play that again, and we're gonna get a couple of scriptures. Remember, this is no longer a conspiracy. They're outright telling you, because this was their ultimate goal from the beginning. And they're gonna continue to bring it in, whether you like it, believe it or not, because this is coming on all the way from the top. The wicked elite, but really the Most High. Okay, the Most High is controlling. All right, let me get that. Proverbs 21. The Most High is in control. Okay, Proverbs 21:1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So all these policies, the wicked elite's agenda, they're moving towards ultimate, control through digital means. That's all sanctioned by Yahweh Shemal Shai. Okay, this is what the end days entail. Okay, the so-called white man, we know the Edomites, starting with Amalek. He was an Amalekite. Okay, having a system of control where they're able to control your every movement. They're able to track you through facial recognition. They're able to turn off your money if they have to, digital money. All right, they're able to stop you from going particular places. Oh, turn your car off because everything's going digital. This is like some Terminator, Sarah Connor, Terminator, Skynet type stuff. Okay, that's what we are experiencing. That's the technology that Esau Edom has. So let's play this one more time. We'll stop it a couple of times just so you can hear what he's saying.
I know it's difficult to hear, but it's
I know it's difficult to hear.
time to limit the First Amendment.
It's time to limit the First Amendment. Okay, what is the First Amendment? Let's look that up. And who is he talking about? Is he talking about Germany, Italy? Not necessarily. He's really talking about America. What is these other countries don't really have the freedom of speech like we have the freedom of speech. And the reason why they want to limit it because they're being exposed. Okay? There will be no need to limit freedom of speech, right? If everything was good, but these individuals, they're evil and wicked, and their plan is being, revealed, and they're being revealed for the devil that the Bible speaks of, and this is their only option is to ban our free speech and to have punishments laid out if you do not comply. What is the First Amendment? Let's look that up. Okay, the First Amendment to the United States Constitution protects. This is the AI search assist in DuckDuckGo. We could do it in Google too. It's going to be the same thing. The First Amendment to the United States Constitution protects several fundamental rights, including the freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and the right to petition the government. They don't want that. They don't want, as far as religion, they don't really care about religion. Only as it pertains to the Hebrew Israelites. So they actually do want to have control over religion. If there's a Hebrew Israelite group, they want that Hebrew Israelite group in their pockets. Okay, they don't want any rogue Hebrew Israelites, okay, saying things that they do not agree with, saying things that they do not like. Because remember, the words that we're speaking is totally against this kingdom. Okay, there's a scripture that came to my mind. Okay, give me a second. Let me hold that. The things that we're saying is against this kingdom. Mind you, we're talking about Esau, okay, being destroyed, the heathen nations being destroyed, their civilizations being completely desolate, them going into captivity. They're not taking that threat lightly. They're moving forward with applications of how to take the words from off the streets, take the words from off the internet, and punish those who were saying these things. Okay, to put fear in anybody else that dares come against the empire, right? But we have the only living power, Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shah, behind us. So this is we're not afraid if Esau come in. We actually expect him to come in. We know he's going to come and grab us up. Okay, but we're going to continue to keep pushing his word regardless, okay, Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shah willing, of course, regardless of how he feels about it. Jeremiah 1 and yeah. Give me a second. Because let me see if I want to go up a little bit. Yeah, verse 6. Then I said, Lord, power, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But the Lord said unto me, say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak. So regardless of how, if Esau Edom doesn't like it or not, okay, because he really doesn't care about these so-called truthers. I mean, in somewhat, but he doesn't really care. It's really the Hebrew Israelites, because we're saying that he's Amalek. We're saying that he's Esau. We're saying that he's not the true people, and his whole narrative is based upon him being the biblical people of the Bible. Okay, so now it's coming out, and he's being what's that word? Inquisition is being made, a period of prolonged, intense questioning and investigation. He's now having to, answer the questions that he's been able to duck and dodge for all these years. Okay, so the Lord told Jeremiah, look, don't be afraid. I don't care if you're a child. Meaning what? In our case, there's really no excuse. Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, said the Lord. See? Then the Lord put forth his hand and touched my mouth. And the Lord said unto me, behold, I have put my words in thy mouth. See the point. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdom. See, we're literally, the prophets are over everybody. Okay. We're over the nations. We're over the kingdoms. The Lord, he put his words in our mouth to tell you what's getting ready to happen, whether you believe it, like it or not. Okay, it doesn't matter. For what if some did not believe? To root out and to pull down and to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant. So the prophet, he had a very heavy labor that he was put charge over. Okay, to root out, to pull down, to destroy, to throw down, but also to build and to plant. Okay, that's the duality. Okay, so while Esau and his lives are being thrown down, Yahweh Shemal Shai, okay, Yahweh Shai is being lifted up. And the whole world is going to see when this man goes down and that everything that we were saying is right. But now it's not even a conspiracy anymore. That's the thing. It's not even a conspiracy. Let's go all the way back. All right. So he said, I know you don't want to hear this.
I know it's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it.
See, it's time to limit it in order to protect it. And that's the forked tongue out of the devil's mouth. Okay, they're actually very worried because, you know, they understand before a nation is taken down, a nation is, you know, derided, a nation is exposed. Okay, and they work off of secrecy. Okay, they work off of secrecy. They work off of you not knowing what's getting ready to happen, you being tied up in other affairs, you know, the cares and affairs of this world. You know, does the girl like me or does he like me? You know, the new clothes. I'm gonna buy some new clothes. I'm gonna go to, you know, I'm gonna get a promotion at this work, and then I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna buy some land. You know, your Netflix, their whole a plan only works when you're confused and discombobulated, and you don't know what the hell is going on. But now the scopel is on these people, and they're being critiqued. That's the Inquisition. That's the intense, prolonged period of questioning and investigation. Okay.
And quickly before it's too late.
And quickly before it's too late. Okay. Very soon, we only need one surprise T attack. Okay, whether that's cybersecurity, you know, like a hack. Okay, you have the W to the E to the F. Okay, they have something called Cyber Polygon. You can look that up, which is basically a test, you know, like war game simulation if a cyber attack happened on a major scale here in Babylon the Great, and what would be the consequences to that. And they basically said that it will be the C-19, you know, those couple of years that everything was locked down, that would be child's play, okay, in comparison to what a major cyber attack would do to the grid here in Babylon the Great. It would destroy economies. It would destroy the American economy. It would destroy a lot of people. It's going to have a lot of madness. When something happens, just one, you know, a riot breaks out or the police shoot Jake and, you know, they get off, you know, what happens? They start rioting. Jake start rioting, looting. So he's going to a lot of looting. Let's continue.
I mean that.
And the white woman, she's like, what you mean? She understands. She understands. He wasn't even going to ask this question. The white woman, what you mean by that? You know, she probably a good old American white woman, right?
What do you mean?
I mean, and quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms.
They need to control the platforms, all the platforms.
We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that.
Basically, you need to check the authenticity. Like when you go, you know, on your banking app or any of these platforms where you have to sign in, right? You sign in, and then they'll do like a 2-step verification where they'll send a text to your phone, or they'll send a code to your email, or you might even have to do a fingerprint, or you might even have to do facial recognition. Basically, that's authenticating you. Okay, this is the right person. Let me open up that. This person can do this, do that. So what he's saying is that when you get on these platforms, there needs to be an authentication. Okay, and we already know that that's moving towards what biometrics. So will you logging into YouTube, Facebook, whatever? Will that have your digital ID? Will there be another verification that's needed? Yes, in the very near future. This is what he's talking about. Okay, they're talking about you being verified online, just like if you live in a high-rise building, or you work in a particular place, you have a card that gives you access. So now they're saying, hey, in order to use the internet, you're gonna need access. We need to know who you are. Okay, you just can't come on the internet anonymously and just do whatever the hell you want. No, that's being all controlled.
Authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online.
See, that expresses themselves online, okay, through speech, through comments, through videos, right? You expressing yourself with the empire, they're all good. Some type of folly, some type of BS, some type of they're with you. You're saying good things about them, but you say something bad about them. You say something that goes against their narrative.
Control over what online, and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking.
The government should control the social media.
Yeah. See,
the
government should control the social media. So it's no longer a sea theory, man. It's no longer a conspiracy. This is actually what's happening, and they have these talking heads. They have these people to make these conversations, and they have the different psychological operations to justify the means. Okay, what is it called? Problem, reaction, solution. Okay, AI is being more a part of the military. Well, these social media, not social media, but these tech billionaires, especially these AI tech billionaires, they're actually part of the armed forces. Okay, let's look that up. AI giants and military. I gotta see what. Let's just see. So I can't do that one. Right, big tech enters the war. Businesses. How Silicon Valley is becoming militarized. Giants like Google, Microsoft, Meta, and Amazon have gone from avoiding any involvement in the military industry to signing large contracts with the Pentagon and Israel. What, huh? The Pentagon and Israel? What's up with that? Why is Giant, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, companies like that, OpenAI, why are they signing contracts, large contracts with the Pentagon? Okay, the Pentagon, all right. But why Israel too? So don't you see that? I'm not going to read this. You can read that. Right? Don't you see that all this is, it's all adding up? Like this is the dude, that weirdo from OpenAI. Right? AI giants abandon safety promises for 400 million military deals. So why are these tech guys out of nowhere? Like literally out of nowhere. All of a sudden they have contracts with the military, multi-million-dollar contracts. Okay, so everything is being weaponized. Okay, everything is being tested in the background. All right, everything is getting ready to come online. You know, the Skynet, where you're gonna be identified. All right, your every move. You had too many eggs. They'll know how many eggs you had. They know your blood pressure. If you got, if you thinking a bad thought, a pre-crime. Okay, this is where Esau Edom is going. Okay, and they're telling you, okay, hey, I know this is not what you want to hear. It's hard to hear, but we want to have to control these things. Why? Because let me bring out another scripture here. Okay, they're being exposed. So we'll just wrap it up with a couple of more scriptures. Habakkuk 2 and 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also. Okay. His Esau is now receiving shame where he once received glory. Everybody wanted to be like the so-called white man, and to position themselves and model themselves after his philosophy. Okay, but now everybody's starting to see that wine that they drink, that they were drunken off of, is actually destroying them. Because too much drink messes you up, man. You can't think straight. It starts to erode your liver, starts to degenerate your mind. It starts to make you addictive and start to make you do crazy shit that you shouldn't be doing. And let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. Okay, shameful spewing now is on the glory of Esau. And what is his response? To ban everything. Is the response is to ban it. No, nigga, the response is to do right. Okay, to do good, but he can't do good. He's evil. He's wicked. He's the devil. He's the adversary that the Most High set up. Okay. And this is the thing. Eventually, he has to come out with the plan. Eventually, the MOTB is going to be here. Eventually, we're all going to have digital IDs. Okay. Eventually, we're all going to be working with digital money. Okay. Eventually, your children are going to be sent. Talk about, these people here in America. You're going to be sent to these wars. Eventually, there's going to be, race wars, race skirmishes here in America. There's going to be civil wars. Eventually, all the prophecies are going to hit. Right. In this very same chapters, it says, let's just bring it out. Right. Verse 3. For the vision is yet for appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry. Wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And we're starting to hear more of the rumor of these things coming. And they say we need to move quick before it's too late, because we know Esau knows that it's almost too late. OK, so that means he has an insight to, pretty much his end. What is he? What has he seen? What does he know? For the scriptures to tell us this. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. Okay, the devil knows that he has but a short time. So what does he do? Give me a second. I'll try and pull that video up again. I think it was this one. Yeah. He knows that he has but a short time, so he has to say things like this. This is a so-called billionaire. Okay? Cybersecurity billionaire. So they know what they want to do. Okay? Let me bring out this. Let me see. Psalm 64 and 8. It says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Okay, they're telling on themselves, but they're at a point, because look, you can only lie for so long. You can only brush it off for so long. His ultimate goal is to control you, is to track and to trace you, but to make you think that it's for your good. We need to control and limit free speech to protect free speech or the First Amendment. That also goes into the right to assembly. Okay, so they want to stop you from assembling with more than one person. Remember during the C-19, in particular places on the earth, you couldn't be more than 6 people in a group, or it's some way out crazy shit. Okay, so but this is all coming. It's no longer a conspiracy. All you Israelites that are not talking about these things, you talking about you niggas is still talking about can the so-called white man make it? Like, bro, we already broke that down. Who are the Gentiles? Which, those are good topics, but bro, is that all you talk about? Israel, it's just debate and going back and forth and entertainment with these guys. We're actually talking about prophecy, okay? So, it was a quick little update just to let you know that they're moving forward with their agenda and they're not stopping, because it's the spirit of the Heavenly Father, all right, through Satan that's on them, okay, to fulfill his plan. Remember, we read it, Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord, and he turneth it whithersoever he will, okay? So I pray that the lesson was edifying. Until next time, shalom to the elect.